The story begins with a young man named Narumi working as a cheerful mascot for the renowned Straw Circus. He stands on the sidewalk distributing balloons and flyers to children passing by. As he performs his duties, he encounters Masaru, who appears distressed and collides with Narumi, accidentally hitting him with his large suitcase. Narumi suspects that Masaru might be a runaway, but his well-groomed appearance confuses him. Preferring to avoid trouble, Narumi dismisses the thought and continues with his work. However, it is soon revealed that Narumi suffers from a unique illness that causes breathing difficulties. The only known cure for his condition is laughter. Fortunately, Masaru bursts into laughter, inadvertently saving Narumi's life. Grateful for his timely intervention, Narumi intends to express his thanks to Masaru. However, his gratitude is short-lived when he notices a group of menacing individuals dressed in black surrounding Masaru. Despite his hesitation, Narumi musters the courage to confront the mysterious figures, only to discover that they are not human. Realizing the imminent danger, Narumi and Masaru decide to escape, boarding a passing train. As they find themselves aboard the train, Masaru reveals his true identity as the heir to the wealthy Sega family. Following his father's death, he has become the target of kidnappers who employ lifelike puppets created by the Sega family. Masaru recalls his grandfather's instruction that in the event of his father's sudden passing, he must carry a specific suitcase and seek out a person named Shirogane, who works at a circus. Determined to fulfill his grandfather's wishes, Masaru is in search of Shirogane. Suddenly, the pursuers catch up to them. Narumi springs into action attempting to fend them off, but an unforeseen incident occurs as one of the pursuers stands on the railway tracks, causing the train to derail and crash. The impact shatters the pursuer's body, revealing his inhuman nature. In that chaotic moment, a man in black emerges, intent on harming Masaru. However, his cry for help summons Shirogane, who swiftly arrives on the scene. Shirogane utilizes the contents of Masaru's case, summoning a puppet that quickly dispatches the assailant. It is revealed that Shirogane is the adopted daughter of Shoji Sega, Masaru's grandfather. Overwhelmed with relief, she embraces Masaru tightly and refers to him as her master. Amidst the commotion, Narumi and Shirogane unintentionally engage in a scuffle, resulting in Harlequin, a puppet, accidentally striking Masaru and causing him to lose consciousness. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, Shirogane and Narumi bring the unconscious Masaru to seek medical assistance from a doctor. While attending to Masaru, the doctor playfully teases Narumi about having a beautiful girlfriend. As Narumi vents his frustrations about his illness, an assassin appears outside, introducing a new threat to their already perilous situation. The truth unfolds when Ryu Ashihana emerges as the mastermind behind the puppet attack on Masaru earlier today. However, his control over the puppet is swiftly overpowered by Shirogane's remarkable puppet control technique. Employing a secret maneuver, Shirogane obliterates Ryu's puppet, foiling his sinister plans. Ryu's henchmen sneak into the clinic with the intention of apprehending Masaru, but are forced to retreat when Narumi unexpectedly intervenes. Yet in this critical moment, Narumi's ailment resurfaces and the doctor discloses that it is the Zonofa syndrome. The only remedy for Narumi lies in making people laugh, an endeavor that drives him to a nearby convenience store. Unfortunately, his attempts elicit shock rather than amusement, prompting Shirogane to deliver a disapproving slap. To everyone's surprise, Shirogane's action triggers laughter all around. Seizing the opportunity, Narumi swiftly takes Shirogane and Masaru to his temporary abode. As evening falls, Masaru ventures to the restroom only to be ambushed by the assassins. Alarmed by the commotion, Shirogane and Narumi rush to his aid, but the assailant swiftly abducts Masaru. Determined to seek justice, they contemplate reporting the incident to the authorities, but they are intercepted by the previous assassin, who introduces himself as Ryu. Astonishingly, he divulges that the Sega clan has hired him to eliminate Masaru due to his inheritance of the entire Sega fortune. Ryu asserts that he belongs to the slaughtered team, while the captors of Masaru form the kidnapped team employed to abduct the young boy. In an unexpected twist, Ryu proposes a partnership with Shirogane and Narumi to reclaim Masaru's safety. Ryu reveals crucial information about Masaru's whereabouts, disclosing that he has been taken to the Sega villa situated in Karuizawa. The villa holds a chilling reputation as a karakuri mansion, adorned with eerie puppets crafted by the late Sega. Narumi and Shirogane readily agree to join forces with Ryu, and together, they set off towards the villa. Meanwhile, Masaru is introduced to his uncle Zenji, whose menacing grin sends shivers down his spine. The next morning, Narumi and Shirogane burst into Zenji's mansion on a motorcycle, swiftly neutralizing numerous adversaries. Ryu's group also joins the fray. Just then, a woman named Takami emerges, controlling a massive puppet, effectively blocking the entrance to the mansion. Shirogane confronts the woman with her own puppet, Harlequin, effortlessly dismantling the mansion's imposing gates. In the meantime, Zenji exerts pressure on Masaru, urging him to become his adopted son and inherit Seiya's vast fortune. Overwhelmed by fear, Masaru pushes Zenji away and manages to escape. Returning to Shirogane and the others, the woman attempts to attack Shirogane using explosives, only to have her plan backfire and result in her own defeat. Narumi and the rest successfully infiltrate the mansion, but Narumi once again falls victim to the Zonofa syndrome. Just in the nick of time, Shirogane unknowingly triggers a trap, causing both of them to plummet. Narumi sustains severe injuries and struggles to breathe, while Shirogane, despite her attempts at making lighthearted jokes, struggles to find amusement. Unexpectedly, Narumi confesses his feelings to Shirogane, expressing his longing to be by her side. Although she doesn't display overt signs of joy, Narumi feels a sense of relief as the Zonofa syndrome attack subsides. Shirogane reveals her true nature, disclosing that she is not entirely human and was trained to suppress her emotions to become a skilled puppeteer. Listening attentively to Shirogane's emotions, Narumi provides her with encouragement. Meanwhile, Masaru finds himself in a perilous situation and makes the decision to shed his previous fearful persona, taking the leap of faith through a window. By chance, he lands on one of Zenji's men, who was about to harm Ryu, rendering him unconscious. Ryu is taken aback by Masaru's changed behavior. As Masaru rises to his feet, he announces his intention to hire Ryu at a price 10 times higher if he switches sides. Witnessing Masaru's determined gaze, Ryu agrees to the contract. Together, they infiltrate Zenji's surveillance room with Ryu's assistance. However, Zenji employs a heart-wrenching tactic, threatening the lives of Narumi and Shirogane to coerce Masaru into becoming his adopted son. Ryu exposes Zenji's deceit, revealing that even if Masaru complies, their lives will still be in danger. Filled with righteous anger, Masaru fiercely attacks Zenji's arms and legs, leaving Ryu astonished. In the midst of the chaos, Masaru implores Ryu to lead him to the location where Narumi and Shirogane are imprisoned in an iron cage. Thankfully, Masaru and Ryu arrive in the nick of time to rescue their friends. Masaru explains that he enlisted Ryu's help, while another puppeteer enters, declaring the game is over. Intent on severing one of Masaru's arms, the assailant is thwarted by Narumi. Narumi unveils his true strength, drawing upon a spiritual energy known as Kaigon. With his formidable muscles, he shatters the iron cage and strikes the man in the face. Unfortunately, the kidnappers also make their presence known. Narumi charges forward, engaging them with his bare hands. However, Shirogane is ambushed by another woman, diverting Narumi's attention and resulting in his capture. Weakened by injuries, Shirogane is unable to control Harlequin effectively. In a desperate plea, Shirogane and Narumi implore Masaru to flee, but he staunchly refuses. Masaru seizes the puppetry tool from Shirogane, astonishing her as he effortlessly manipulates Harlequin, swiftly defeating their opponent puppet. At that moment, a time bomb concealed within the mansion detonates, causing the structure to crumble. Miraculously, Narumi shields Masaru just in time, ensuring their safety. The occupants of the mansion evacuate hastily, but Masaru finds himself engulfed in flames once again. Tragically, Narumi succumbs to the Zonofa syndrome, while Shirogane, played by her traumatic past, is unable to laugh. Narumi beseeches Ryu to save Shirogane, while he leaps into the inferno to rescue Masaru. Meanwhile, the mansion continues its descent into ruins, and Narumi's body becomes engulfed in fire as he selflessly shields Masaru. In his final moments, Narumi imparts his heartfelt wish for Masaru to always wear a smile. The following morning, Masaru awakens to find Narumi's arm, holding onto him tightly. A few months have passed, and Masaru's life has returned to normalcy. He has inherited his father's fortune and is now under the care of Shirogane herself. As they make their way to school one day, Shirogane inquires if Masaru is being bullied. Although he denies it, Shirogane remains unconvinced and decides to skip her class on the first day to keep a close watch on Masaru. It turns out that Masaru is indeed a victim of constant bullying in class due to his small stature and tendency to cry. However, what infuriates the bullies even more is Masaru's recent display of positive attitude. Despite their increasingly brutal treatment, Masaru responds to them with a resilient smile. One of the bullies strikes Masaru in the face, revealing a scar on his forehead. In a show of strength, Masaru removes his shirt, exposing numerous scars on his body, leaving everyone shocked. Masaru confides that his absence from school was not due to a vacation, but rather a series of terrifying experiences. He encountered someone who inspired him to change and always maintain a cheerful demeanor, no matter the circumstances. Witnessing this, Shirogane feels a sense of relief and returns to her class. Shirogane herself is seemingly flawless, excelling in various areas like cooking, fitness, and possessing an attractive physique that captivates others. Although many adore her, she struggles to find true happiness as she was unable to smile and save Narumi. To bring joy to Shirogane's life, Masaru decides to take her to a small circus, hoping to inspire her to join him in pursuing a circus career. In another place, Narumi wakes up with a prosthetic hand, but all his memories are gone. He was saved by a wealthy man named Guy Christopher, who happens to be a descendant of the French aristocracy. Strangely, Narumi's body automatically demonstrates martial arts skills, which triggers his recollection of studying martial arts in China. As Narumi comes across a young girl struggling with Zonapha syndrome, a condition that Narumi finds strangely familiar, he realizes that he is in a hospital that treats over 2,000 children with the same syndrome. Narumi's new daily task involves playing with the children in the hospital and bringing laughter to their lives. One evening, he witnesses doctors and nurses secretly injecting drugs. Alarmed by this, he seeks out Guy and accidentally stumbles upon them interrogating a child as if he was a criminal. Fueled by anger, Narumi punches Guy in the face only to discover that his body possesses remarkable healing abilities. Guy reveals that he used aqua vitae to save Narumi, an elixir capable of curing any ailment, including Zonapha syndrome. Unfortunately, there was only one dose available, and it has been used on Narumi. Guy chooses to save Narumi because he believes that Narumi has the potential to defeat the automata, unmanned puppets that spread Zonapha syndrome. The group controlling these automata is known as the Midnight Circus. During their conversation, an automata named Pullman attacks the hospital, controlling numerous puppets armed with various weapons. Guy employs his puppet named Olympia to combat some of Pullman's puppets. Unfortunately, a little girl witnesses the fight, and the shock triggers a relapse of her disease. She tragically passed away in Narumi's arms as he struggled to find the laughter needed to heal her. Overwhelmed by grief, Narumi rushes outside and starts taking down Pullman's puppets. Narumi single-handedly overpowers hundreds of Pullman's puppets, showcasing incredible strength and skill. In a desperate mood, Pullman unleashes his trump card, which manages to injure Narumi. Despite the setback, Narumi refuses to stay down and musters the strength to confront and defeat Pullman. Thanks to the healing properties of aqua vitae, Narumi's wounds begin to mend. With one decisive punch, Narumi delivers the final blow to Pullman. Meanwhile, amidst preparations for the circus, Shirogane encounters Vilma, a young woman. Their connection is instant, and they quickly develop a deep friendship. Little does Shirogane know, Vilma has been hired as an assassin by the Sega family, with a mission to kill Masaru. Under the cover of night, while everyone is asleep, Vilma seizes the opportunity and kidnaps Masaru. Fortunately, Shirogane arrives just in time to rescue them. Summoning the power of Harlequin, Shirogane engages in a fierce battle with Vilma. In the midst of their confrontation, Vilma's knives leave Shirogane wounded, but her determination remains unyielding. When Vilma attempts to harm Masaru with a knife, Shirogane fearlessly interposes herself, using her head to deflect the attack and ultimately defeating Vilma with the final strike. Amidst the chaos, Masaru notices something remarkable. Shirogane's wounds are inexplicably healing. Vilma regains consciousness, discovering Masaru standing by her side. Shirogane reveals that Masaru had prevented her from killing Vilma. The following day, Vilma expresses her desire to join the circus, impressing the boss with her exceptional knife-throwing talents, leading to an immediate recruitment. Narumi and a group of individuals head to China to investigate the whereabouts of the Midnight Circus. However, their journey takes a dangerous turn when they are unexpectedly attacked by a group of automata on the plane. In a desperate attempt to defend themselves, Narumi engages in a physical confrontation with one of the automata, inadvertently causing a significant hole in the plane. The automata seize control of the cockpit and take the children hostage to intimidate Narumi. They propose a game where if Narumi can defeat their leader in hand-to-hand combat, they will ensure the safe landing of the plane. However, there's an additional rule that if Narumi gets struck even once, they will break one of Guy's fingers. They threaten to continue breaking Guy's fingers until Narumi is defeated, leading to the death of everyone on board. Fortunately, an elderly woman named Lucille manages to regain control of the cockpit, allowing Narumi to defeat the leader. Nevertheless, the plane is now under attack by numerous clown-like automata outside, causing one of the engines to explode. Despite Guy's injured fingers, he bravely ventures outside to fight off the automata. Recognizing Guy's remarkable strength, the leader decides to destroy the remaining engine, but Guy prevents him from doing so. Ultimately, the plane crash lands near the vicinity where Shirogane and Masaru from the circus are performing. Upon witnessing the crash, Masaru and Shirogane rush towards the wreckage. In that critical moment, an automata emerges from the plane poised to attack Masaru, only to be intercepted by Narumi. However, due to a loss of his memories, Narumi swiftly departs from the scene. During the rescue mission to free the trapped plane passengers, an unexpected revelation occurs when they discover that Guy who is injured happens to be Shirogane's mentor. Meanwhile, Narumi and an elderly woman named Lucille are on a quest to find Narumi's master, who possesses knowledge about the whereabouts of the Midnight Circus. Along their journey, Narumi's consumption of aqua vitae triggers strange memories to resurface in his mind. Eventually, they locate Narumi's master near a stream, but he is revealed to be afflicted with Zonofa syndrome. Narumi responds quickly with laughter to alleviate his master's condition. In turn, his master reveals the origins of both Zonofa syndrome and aqua vitae. The story dates back over 2 centuries, involving 2 brothers from the Bai family, Jin and Yin, who were puppeteers aspiring to create human-like puppets. After 8 years, they arrived in Prague, known for its alchemy studies. It was there that they encountered a girl named Francine, who Jin instantly fell in love with. Initially, Yin didn't seem fond of her, but as he discovered Francine's selfless nature and her willingness to sacrifice for others, his feelings changed. Despite knowing Yin's affection for Francine, Jin silently witnessed their entire conversation when Yin selflessly proposes her to marry him at church. That night, Jin takes Francine away from Prague, evading Yin's relentless search for them over the past 9 years. Eventually, Yin discovers Jin's whereabouts and visits his house, desperately inquiring about Francine. Jin informs him that the villagers have taken her captive due to a dangerous illness she contracted. Filled with determination, Yin sets off to locate Francine and vows to find a cure for her. However, upon reaching her location, the villagers intervene and drive him away, thwarting his rescue attempt. Undeterred, Yin dedicates years to researching a remedy known as aqua vitae and eventually succeeds in its creation. Tragically, when Yin returns to save Francine, he finds the area engulfed in a devastating fire and the villagers prevent him from reaching her in time. Francine, burdened by guilt for having spent all those years with Jin, feels deep remorse for Yin's plight. 2 decades and 3 years later, Yin departs from the village while Jin remains behind. Seeking solace, Yin constructs a puppet that bears an uncanny resemblance to Francine, using aqua vitae as a substitute for blood. Yet he discovers that the puppet is incapable of laughter. Determined to bring joy to his creation, Yin develops intelligent puppets called automata, specifically designed to elicit laughter from the Francine puppet. Additionally, Yin devises retribution in the form of a disease called Zonofa syndrome, intended to punish the village responsible for Francine's demise. 6 years pass and Jin returns to the village, utilizing a soft stone to create a stream of aqua vitae that saves the entire community. Taking responsibility for his actions, Jin immerses himself in the stream, merging with it. As the villagers consume the revitalizing water, they gain access to Yin's knowledge and emotions, developing a shared resolve to eliminate all automata. Suddenly, Pantaloon, one of the oldest automata, appears and reveals that Jin killed Francine because he realized she was just a puppet and couldn't compare to the real Francine. However, the doll version of Francine is not dead yet. She created 4 automata to carry out her will, which is to make her laugh or spread Zonofa syndrome. The 4 oldest automata form the Midnight Circus to fulfill the doll Francine's wishes. Pantaloon reveals his plan to drink aqua vitae and gain Yin's knowledge. But before he dies, the master stops him and destroys the aqua vitae with dynamite. However, he leaves behind a dog that can sniff out Pantaloon's scent and find the location of the Midnight Circus. After finding out the Midnight Circus location, elderly woman Lucille has united puppeteers from around the world to launch an attack on the Midnight Circus. Their objective is to eliminate the 4 oldest automata and a doll named Francine. The clash between the automata and puppeteers commences through a game where all the Shiroganes must engage the automata first. Narumi takes on and triumphs over automata named Merry-Go-Round Olsen, while Fatima and Leon join forces to defeat a pair of automata known as Orazio and Pedrolino. Upon their victory, they advance to the next level, where they must conquer the challenges posed by the 4 remaining automata to reach Francine. In the next round, the Shirogane group is faced with a difficult choice between 2 doors. One door is believed to lead directly to their leader, Francine, while the other door holds unknown challenges. The group of 8 members decides to split into 2 teams of 4 to tackle the doors separately and overcome whatever obstacles they may encounter. Narumi, accompanied by the steadfast leader Faceless, enters one of the doors and finds themselves face to face with the automata. The automata present them with a proposition. Only 2 members are allowed to continue further and meet Francine, but they must first engage in a fight among themselves. Aware that this is a trap, Narumi and Faceless defy the rule and engage in a battle with the clown-like automata. Although Faceless manages to stop the most dangerous clown, he sacrifices his own life in the process. Narumi, despite sustaining numerous injuries, musters her strength and regroups with the remaining team members. Together, they press on to the final round, where they encounter 4 powerful automata known as La Quarre Pioneers. It becomes clear that defeating these opponents is essential if they want to face Francine, the Queen of all Automata. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing to the channel and stay tuned for more quality uploads.